I now give the floor to Mr. Jean-Pierre Lacroix.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to thank the Security Council for giving me this opportunity to speak to you during this annual meeting of the heads of military components here in New York. I am absolutely delighted, of course, that two force commanders are here with us today. The Lieutenant General Haroldo Lazaro Sáenz, who's head of mission and force commander of UNIFIL, and Lieutenant General Ulises de Miscata Gomez, force commander of MONUSCO. Mr. President, this annual meeting is an opportunity for us to reiterate our shared commitment to peace and security through the very important work of peacekeeping operations of the United Nations. This week, the force commanders will look at specific cases and will conduct a systematic review of all challenges and also best practices. They will discuss important topics such as contemporary strategic communication initiatives, resource scarcity, progress made in the women, peace and security and protection of civilians domains, and also leveraging technology for peace operations, and also the pivotal role of training as a force multiplier. Before I continue, I would like to express my gratitude to Germany for deciding to meet in Berlin in May. So that will be the forthcoming peacekeeping ministerial meeting. It will be a unique opportunity for high-level discussions to take place on the future of peacekeeping and necessary peacekeeping reforms. Of course, we do hope that that will also be an opportunity for member states to agree on a collective approach to addressing current challenges to peacekeeping, to adapting existing operations, and to work with us to ensure we're all prepared for the establishment of possible new operations.
To focus on the enduring importance, evolution, and potential future role of ceasefire monitoring as one of the longest-standing tasks and core competencies of United Nations peacekeeping. From its inception, peacekeeping was conceived as a means to monitor a ceasefire or truce, and this task has shaped the core principles and operational ethos of our missions. The original mandate of UN peacekeepers was to provide impartial observations, meticulous reporting, and confidence-building support for the political processes aimed at resolving conflicts peacefully. Then, as now, effective monitoring of ceasefires crucially depends on a strict adherence to the core peacekeeping principles of consent, impartiality, and non-use of force to ensure that peacekeepers are at all times perceived as credible and unbiased observers who can accurately record and report incidents. Today's operating environment is increasingly dynamic and often characterized by hybrid threats that blur the boundaries among domains. In this context, ceasefire monitoring can no longer be just about being present. It's about rapidly understanding and acting on what is happening on the ground. Advances in technology now offer us the ability to extend and increase our impact and efficient use of resources by deploying monitoring capabilities far beyond the traditional demilitarized zones. Such capabilities allow us to observe vast and complex landscapes in near real time, overcoming the limitations of older methods that relied primarily on physical presence. Technology, therefore, can help us deliver on coherent strategies that build on the principles of consent, impartiality, and the non-use of force, of course, except in defense of the mandate and self-defense. It must be integrated within a political process backed by the unified support of member states and particularly the Security Council. Our digital transformation strategy under the Action for Peacekeeping Plus framework is firmly placed within our strategies and is designed to enhance our missions by providing better tools to detect violations swiftly, coordinate responses effectively, and maintain the trust of the communities they serve. Integrated platforms enable the tracking of ceasefire violation in near real time, while mobile tools facilitate the rapid reporting and verification of incidents. The UnitedWare platform, for instance, has changed how we monitor critical zones. In Cyprus, the mission has leveraged this shared situational awareness tool to monitor the buffer zone and shift from reactive responses to anticipatory, data-driven decision-making. Our future monitoring efforts will need to address threats that extend beyond the traditional physical domains. Influence operations, cyber attacks, and other hybrid threats challenge our conventional models and demand fresh, innovative approaches. Monsieur le Président,
Mr. President, with regard to the future, we're already addressing challenges to information integrity. We need to adapt these instruments to the new challenges and new realities, and we've already undertaken initiatives in this regard. In Lebanon, for example, and in a context that has drastically changed since the cessation of hostilities agreement of the 27th of November, UNIFIL has adopted a new posture to be fully responsive to the new reality, and is instrumental in supporting the parties to uphold the cessation of hostilities, and this through the 5 objectives of its adaptation plan. In DRC, this Council recently called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, and also expressed its readiness to consider a possible role for MONUSCO in the implementation and monitoring of a possible ceasefire agreement. MONUSCO is prepared to take on this kind of role if the Security Council were to so decide. During my visit to the DRC in March, the President of the I met with the Prime Minister and President of the DRC, and they welcomed this initiative. It's also important to recall the role currently being played by MONUSCO with regard to the supervision of the International Great Lakes Conference. I'd also like to point out that MONUSCO has adapted its concept of operations and is currently implementing this, and this will lead to an adaptation of the footprint and availability of police units from that operation. And we had, in fact, this morning a meeting with MONUSCO to examine all of these matters. All of that to say that a number of significant efforts are underway currently to ensure that the existing missions constantly adapt according to the realities and situation on the ground.
Again, emphasize that while peacekeeping can be an integral part of a ceasefire monitoring regime, the success of any ceasefire remains the sole responsibility of the parties. Indeed, that applies to every element of the mandate, and we wish to emphasize that as we proceed, the support of member states, the support of host government and host parties, and more importantly, the support of this Council to our peacekeeping operation will continue to be absolutely essential if we are to succeed in the implementation of our mandate. Before I conclude, I would want to acknowledge the brave peacekeepers who made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of peace, including the 5 who were killed this year and the 42 who sustained injuries due to malicious acts. And I want to express our full solidarity with them and their families. And I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank Under Secretary General Monsieur Jean-Pierre Lacroix for his briefing.